Hey, my name's Kara Nicole. Welcome to my channel, but if you are new, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title today, I'm going to be doing a story time on my teen pregnancy story and how I hid my pregnancy for 8 months. So let's get right into it.
My cocoa butter kisses hope you smile when you listen. Ain't no competition, just competing for attention.
Okay, this story takes place in the summertime of 2017. I had just turned 16 in April, and my daughter, she was conceived in like the beginning of May. So it was coming to the ending of May, and I was expecting my period. I was in my grandma's house. Most of the summertime I was in my grandma's house, so I was expecting my period. It didn't come. So I had a friend, and I was telling her, I was telling her what was going on. She was like, that I had needed to get a test or whatever. But I wasn't finna get one because I didn't think I was pregnant. I didn't want to be pregnant. I mean, I was not expecting to get pregnant. So I was in denial. I was like, I'm not getting a pregnancy test because I'm not pregnant. Like, what I need a pregnancy test for? I'm not finna get one. I won't get one. So it was like weeks later, I'm still at my grandma's house, and then I started getting more symptoms. So one of the symptoms was like my change in my appetite. So my grandma, she had cooked like a big dinner. It was like on a Sunday. She had cooked a big dinner with like a lot of good stuff, and for some reason, like I didn't want none of it. I was like, just being in the kitchen just made me sick out of nowhere, and I had refused to eat. My grandma, she was asking me, she was like, am I sick? And I was like, no, like I ain't have a reason to be sick. So I was like, no, I wasn't sick. I just didn't feel like eating. And this was like for some days out of that week, I didn't eat nothing. I didn't feel like eating. I just felt real nauseous, stuff like that. So yeah. And another symptom I had was I had slept like the whole day. Like I could sleep all day and still be sleepy. So I was sleeping in my grandma's room a lot, like through the whole day. They used to come in there like, you been asleep all day, like get up. And I did not feel like getting up. I was so exhausted, so sleepy and tired. So like 2 weeks passed and I still haven't came on. I'm still like in denial, like I cannot be pregnant. Like no. So I'm still in denial, like I cannot be pregnant. I'm looking up the symptoms on Google. Everything pointing towards pregnancy. I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. Okay, so it's like the middle of June. I still haven't came on my period. I'm still talking to my friend about it. She like, get a pregnancy test. You might be pregnant. Because I had never been late on none of my periods. And I know I had a reason. I knew if I was pregnant, I was like, I knew what day I got pregnant type. Cause I knew it. You finna go in there and sit down?
No.
What? Go sit down, okay? Okay. So my grandma, she had like a doctor's appointment, and she had my baby cousin. So she had asked me to come with her to watch her while she goes to the back and to sit in the waiting room with him. So yeah, my grandma, she asked me to come with her to the doctor's office to watch my baby cousin while she goes in the back. So she wanted her to take him in the back. So I was up there, and when she was back there, I was like, I'm gonna tell her when she come back up, because like my grandma, she's not like me. She don't yell nothing. Like she understanding, and she like nice and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna tell her, and I know she was gonna buy me a pregnancy test or whatever. So she come from the back, and we get in the car, and we about to pull off, and she just started crying. And then so come to find out, she had got like bad news from the doctor or whatever. So I was like, I ain't gonna tell her no more, cause she already got bad news. This like me being pregnant is like bad news too. So I'm not gonna tell her. So that was the only time I had got close to telling like an adult that I might be pregnant. The only person I had told throughout that whole time was my one friend. So nobody else knew at all that I might be pregnant or was pregnant. So we get home, and like I said, she had got bad news, so she was like sad about that. So I had never told nobody, whatever. Okay. So I was over there like most of the summer. So it's coming to the end of July, beginning of August. I go back home because it's almost time to go to school. So while I'm home, I'm still having the symptoms that I had when I was at my grandma's house. So they started getting worse now. So I started throwing up, getting real nauseous. Yeah, so I had threw up and told my mom. No, I didn't tell her. She had heard me, I think. But somebody had told her. Like one of my brothers and sisters had told her. Or she had heard. It was one of them. And she was like, I don't think she thought none of it. She was like, maybe you like sick or something. Then I had threw up again. And I think the same thing happened. She had heard that somebody had told her, because I didn't tell her. I had threw up because I already knew. I already knew I was throwing up. So yeah, she noticed I'm throwing up multiple times. I'm telling her I'm feeling nauseous, I'm feeling sick. So she had took me to the emergency room at La Bonheur. So we at La Bonheur, and we like, you know what you do at the emergency room. We go to the room, and they asked for like a pee sample. I don't think they had took my blood. They asked for like a pee sample. So we in the room. I already know why I'm up here. I'm just hoping that when they come in there, they don't like tell her, because I had Googled it and it was like, if you 16, they can't tell your mom. So I was like praying that they didn't come in there and just straight up tell her I'm pregnant, whatever. So we was in a room for like, we're in the room for like 45 minutes, and the lady come in, and I could tell by her face what she finna say. So she had told my mom, she was like, I gotta ask Kira a few questions. This is something we do with our teens. So like, can you step out in the hallway? She was like, yeah, my mom had stepped out in the hallway. So the doctor was like, the results came back from your pee, and you had like, we found, what is it, HCG in your urine. So you're pregnant. It looked like, she said something like, it looks like you're about 3 to 4 months. I was like, yep. Like 3 to 4 months ago, it happened, whatever had happened. So she was like, did you know? And I was like, no. I had no idea. And she had said, when was your last period? And I had lied. I had said it was my last period was in July. So it's gonna make it look like I didn't know. I didn't have no symptoms except that throwing up, the reason why I was up there. So she was like, do you want your mom to know or something like that? And I was like, no. I didn't want to tell her. And she was like trying to convince me to tell her and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm gonna tell her when I get home. And she was like, is there a reason why you don't want to tell her? Do you think that she's gonna like, she was like, did I think she was gonna like hit me or something? I was like, no. I just didn't want to tell her. I just was in doubt that I was pregnant, because I didn't like want to be pregnant. I wasn't expecting to get pregnant. So I was like, no, like, I'm not gonna tell her. So she was like, she was going to get the social worker or something, and she went to go get her. The social worker came in trying to talk to me. She gave me her card. It was like, if I ever need somebody to talk to, just to call her, something like that. So yeah, they had both left. They ended up not telling my mom. So they had told my mom that like, they couldn't find a reason why I was throwing up, just to like give me like medicine or something. They said something like that. So we leave the hospital. I'm texting my friend. I'm like, I just left the hospital. They said I'm pregnant. They didn't tell my mom though. Yeah. So okay. So like a week later, 2 weeks later, school starts. I'm not showing her nothing yet. I didn't tell nobody. Nobody knew I was pregnant. Yeah, like, so through the month of August, I wasn't showing, and my morning sickness started to go away. So it didn't look like I was pregnant. Nobody even thought of me being pregnant. So now it's like at the end of September, and I had this other friend, and we was all like, it was her, me, and like some other girls. We was all like standing in a group outside like during lunch, and she was like, "You look pregnant." And I was like, I had tried to laugh it off. I was pregnant. My stomach wasn't big, but it was like you could tell like it wasn't flat, but I could still like suck it in. So I was like we just all had left it off. So it's like the end of September, beginning of October. I'm in second period chemistry. I'm standing up. Okay, so it's like the end of September, approaching October, like around that time, and I'm at school in my second period class, which was chemistry, and I'm standing up. So the girl beside me, she whispers to the girl behind her something. Like, I know what she had said to her, because she was like looking dead at me before she had said it. So the girl behind her, she was like, "Kia, are you pregnant?" I was like, "No." Like, what? So I was like, "No, I'm not pregnant." Whatever. Yeah, I was saying I wasn't pregnant, and it wasn't because like I didn't want nobody to know. It was just like it wasn't really none of their business in the first place, and I was just still like disappointed in myself that I had got pregnant, because I wasn't expecting to get pregnant. I just wasn't expecting to get pregnant. So from that day on, like people I didn't even know in my school just started walking up to me like, "I heard you was pregnant. Are you pregnant?" Stuff like that. And I'm like, "No, I'm telling everybody no, like, no, I'm not pregnant." Like, no. It's like the middle of October, beginning of November, approaching the beginning of November, and now people starting to notice, because my stomach is starting to get kind of big. So people starting to notice. More people start asking like, "I can see your stomach. You getting you pregnant?" Like stuff like that. I'm like, "No, I'm not pregnant." Like, "No, I'm not pregnant." Stop asking me that. I keep telling y'all no. And it's the same people that keep asking me. So I was like, "No, I'm not pregnant. Why you keep asking me? That's none of your business." If I was type. So now it's the ending of November, approaching the beginning of December, and I was a cancer patient, like 5th grade, 6th grade. So I was going for like every 6 months or every once a year checkups. So I know I'm pregnant, and I was getting to the point where it was like, if you look hard enough, like you could tell I was pregnant. So I'm going to the hospital knowing I'm pregnant. So I had like 2 coats, a jacket, and like some more. So on my way there, I'm like Googling like, if you take a pee sample, will it test for like anything out there? I thought they were just gonna test for like cancerous stuff. And when I was on Google, it was like, no. Like, if you think you're pregnant, they're gonna test for pregnancy type. So we end the so we get to the hospital and we go to triage. Triage is where they take your blood and your pee and stuff. Like, before you go to any appointments at the hospital, they take your blood and pee, blood pressure, all that. So they're asking for my pee, and I'm like, I had already peed that morning. I couldn't pee. So they was like, "You gonna have to pee." So I just went to the restroom, pee, hoping that it wouldn't come back as if it was a test that I was pregnant, whatever. So yeah, I end up peeing in the cup, giving it back to the nurse. They take my blood pressure or something. It's like real high, because I'm like nervous. I'm so nervous that it's gonna come back that I'm pregnant, and I have HCG in my pee. My phone was about to die, and I had to put it on the charger. So where I left off at was we was in triage. They took my pee, whatever. Okay, so we had left the triage, and that day I had an appointment. I forgot what other appointment I had, but I know I had a ultrasound appointment on my chest or something, like on my heart. So we in the room finna do the ultrasound. I'm even more nervous. I'm like, I hope she don't go like lower than my heart, because like I'm pregnant. So yeah. Okay, so I forget. Okay, so I forgot what all appointments they had for me today, but I know for a fact that I had to go to the ultrasound. I had an appointment to get an ultrasound on my chest. So we're in the waiting room waiting to get that, and I'm like asking my mom, like is you gonna stay in the waiting room type? And she was like, no, like why would I stay in the waiting room? I'm going in there. I don't know why she wanted to go in there. Okay, so they finally called me to the back, and I'm finna get my ultrasound. So she doing the like putting the gel and stuff on my chest. So she rubbing across my chest, looking at my heart, so I can see my heart on the ultrasound screen. So my mom, she's behind me. She ended up falling asleep. So the lady, she's rubbing the little ultrasound thing across my chest, and so she going down. So I'm getting like nervous. So she goes down, and I could see the look on her face. She was like looking like confused. So she had whispered to me. She was like, "How many months are you?" And I had just looked at her like shut up, do not say nothing. I was like, she's like, okay, like she understood it. My mom didn't know, type. So she didn't say nothing like to my mom. We had walked out of there. I think that was my last appointment of the day. I had to go for 2 days straight because they didn't want me to do all my scans in 1 day. So we had left the first day, and I was like, yes, 1 day down, 1 more to go. So that day had ended. Here comes the next day. So this is the day that everybody had found out I was pregnant because of my doctor. Okay, so the next day we get there, they take my blood at the triage, and we go to get the schedule. So I'm looking at the schedule, and it's different from the day before. When we had seen it the day before, it had like I was getting my PET scan, CT scan, like scans you don't supposed to get when you're pregnant, cause it's like radiation and stuff. So they had changed. They had took all that off there. And they had me going to the clinic called the D clinic that I had been going to since I did have cancer, and that was my designated clinic. So they had me having an appointment going there instead of taking my scans that I was supposed to be taking. So in my head, I already knew that they had found out that I was pregnant. They just showed me that they had knew I was pregnant from the results in the P. So the whole day I'm nervous waiting for that appointment. I had other appointments before that, so in them appointments I'm waiting on that appointment, just so scared. Like I'm trying to see what's finna go down. I know they know I'm pregnant. So yeah, it's finally the end of my appointments, and my last appointment was the appointment at the D clinic. So we in the waiting room. I'm like so nervous because I already know what's finna happen. I'm just trying to see how it's finna happen, like what's finna go down. I'm real nervous. So yeah, so they called me to the back in the room. Okay, so they came in quicker than they usually come in, and they did the same thing that the nurse did at La Bonheur. Had asked my mom could she step out to ask me like questions that they're now asking the teens type. But I knew that was a lot. That's not what they had for her. So it's me, my doctor, and one of the nurses, and she's like, I know that you know you're pregnant. Like, I guess it showed that I was far along, or when I had got the ultrasound on my chest, like she could see how far along I was in my pregnancy. So she was like, did I tell my mom it was my mom? No. I'm like, no, she don't know. So they're trying to convince me to tell my mom I'm pregnant. I was like, no, I'm not telling her. I don't want to tell her. I don't want her to know. And it was not because I was scared. I just didn't tell no. It's the same reason why I didn't tell nobody else, is because like I was like in denial, and I was like, I wasn't ashamed, but I was just disappointed in myself that I was pregnant, and I wasn't expected to get pregnant. And yeah, so it was like 30-45 minutes go by. I'm still going back and forth with them, like I'm not telling her. No, I don't want her to know. And they still trying to convince me, like, you need to tell her, you should tell her. Okay, so when I did have cancer, it was like up my nose and my nasal cavity type. So a problem that I had today was that I had a smell like out of nowhere, like a smell inside my nose, and my mom had told them about it. So she was like, my nurse was like, no, my doctor was like, I would let you leave like and tell her on my own time, but since you got a smell up your nose, we need to check that out. So you're gonna have to tell her like we're gonna have to get everything situated and stuff like that. So they finally convinced me to tell her after like an hour. And so they finally called my mama in. I'm like trying not to cry. I'm like really nervous, trying not to cry. So it was like they was like before they called my mama, they was like, we're just gonna ease into it, like we ain't gonna let you tell her, we gonna tell her. Cause I was like, I don't wanna tell her, can y'all tell her? So we in a room. So she was like, so my doctor, she was talking, so she was easing into it. So she was like, y'all know y'all was supposed to be coming here for the scans. We had canceled the scans, and the reason why we had canceled them is because Kiara is pregnant. And I was like, my mom, she was like, sitting on this side, I was like this. And my mom, and I could hear my mom, she was like, Kiara, and I was like, I just started busting out crying. I just started crying. It wasn't like all 100% because I was like so relieved because I had went 8 months without telling nobody that I was pregnant. And I really wasn't showing a lot. Like throughout my pregnancy, I really wasn't showing for them to even think that I was pregnant and stuff like that. So she was like, Kiara, and I was like, I didn't try to. And she was like, I know, but like you should have like told us or something like that. So she was like, Kiara's last period was in April. My mom was like, Kiara. She like kept saying my name. She was like, oh my God, like your last period's in April and it's December. Like they counting the months. I'm like, and I'm just sitting there like crying and stuff. So she was like, my doctor was like lay down, let us like examine you, like let us like see stuff like that. So I take like all the jackets I had off. I take all the jackets that I had off because I had like 3-4 jackets on, coats on, and yeah. So like you can see it, the baby bump. What you can see my baby bump and stuff like that. So yeah. So they we talk about it. Whatever. So they walk out. My doctors and the nurse had walked out to go. They had went to go do something. So my mama, she had walked out with them. So she had went to go call my dad. I was hoping the doctors came in before my mom because I thought she was gonna be mad, and I thought she was gonna be like talking crazy and stuff if she would have came in first. But the doctors ended up coming in first or something. Then they went out again to do something else. So this when my mom had came in. No, they had came in. So then that's when they had came in to they came in to say something else. But my mom went in there, so they had left again, and they was gonna come back when she came back. So she was on the phone with my dad. Well, yeah. Okay, so my mom, she come back in the room like, your dad said like who was the boy, and I had told them somebody that it wasn't. I knew it wasn't her father. But that's a different story time, and I'm gonna do a story time on how I told them who her real father was and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so yeah, me and my mom, we get home, and my dad, he already there on his lunch break. So I see his truck, and I'm like, ooh, I'm scared, like I'm more scared. Even though my dad, he ain't never whooped us. He like nice and stuff. He never whooped me. None of that. But I was like so scared. I was more scared than my mom finding out. I don't know why. So we get home and he's sitting up in the living room, and I quickly passed him, like go in my room, sit down. So I'm sitting there for like 15-30 minutes, and I'm like putting this like Lego toy or something like that together that I had got from the hospital because they always give me the patient stuff. So yeah, so he walked in, so he was like, how you feel, or something like that or something, and he had sat beside me, and I had just started crying like so hard. I was just started crying. He was like you don't gotta cry, stuff like this, like it's gonna be okay, like it is what it is. Like you it's like I'm 8 months out, like can't nobody really be mad now. It's like too late to get mad, cry, whatever. I'm 8 months, like I'm finna get ready to have a baby now. So yeah, he had left, he had went back to work. So I think I had took a nap after that to like the nighttime or something. So later that night, my dad had came back from work. So all my little sisters and my little brother, they had called all us to the kitchen table, and my dad had told him, he was like, Kiara pregnant, stuff like that. He was like, we're gonna have, he said something like, we're gonna have an addition to the family, Kiara pregnant, something like that. So my brother, he was like, I already knew. And we was like, how you know? And he was like, somebody at school had asked him, people kept asking him at school, was I pregnant? So we was all at the table just talking about it, like talking about the name. And when we was at the table, we was calling everybody in the family and telling them. So we had called all my older brothers, my grandma, my aunties and stuff, had called all of them, had told them and stuff. So yeah. So the next day was a school day, and after my mom had found out I was pregnant, she was like real nice and stuff, and like just real caring and stuff. And she was like, if you don't feel like going to school, like if you feel sick, tell me, you can stay at home type stuff. She was saying stuff like that. I was like, nah, I'm okay. So when I'm still going to school, I'm still not telling nobody at school. Nobody at school still don't know that I'm pregnant. Yeah. My mom, she had scheduled the OBGYN appointment. I had went to the doctor. The first time I had took my blood pee. Just, you know, they call you into like their office or something, just telling you about, you know, we're just talking about stuff like that. Like you gotta sign stuff. So the first time I went, I didn't get to see what my baby gender was. So I think like days later after that, I had went back. And I had did an ultrasound, got to see that my baby, she was a girl. And I was so happy because I wanted a girl so bad. And well, I didn't want a girl so bad, like I didn't want to get pregnant, but I wanted a girl instead of a boy so bad. So yeah, after that, we started planning the baby shower, stuff like that. And I ended up not having one, but yeah. So it's getting close to Christmas. Christmas passed. It's getting to January. So my baby, she was not due until February 3rd, but it's in January, so I'm getting close to the due date. So you start going every 2 weeks, every week. And then it goes to every week. But I was still going every 2 weeks. So I was going to them appointments, still not telling nobody at school I'm pregnant, nobody at school know I'm pregnant. Because I didn't have a big stomach until like my last month. So, well, my last few weeks type, it started getting real, my stomach started getting really big. So yeah, then that's when as I'm going to the doctor, they giving me the paper to get to my school nurse, like that they can let you out and use the restroom whenever you want to, because like you're pregnant, and when you're pregnant you gotta urine a lot. So yeah, and then I was getting close to my due date, so they had gave the paper to my principal saying like I'm finna be out for the 6 weeks, and my last day before I have my baby is when I get to 39 weeks, stuff like that. So I get to 38 weeks, nobody at school still know I'm pregnant, and I have a doctor's appointment. Now I'm going like every week. So they took my blood pressure and it was like kind of high. So I think they had sent me to the hospital or something like that time, and I had got sent back or something like that. And the next week I go, I'm at 38 weeks. I go and they check my blood pressure again, and it's like they saying it's even more higher. So then that's when they she was like she called the hospital. They're gonna induce me. I'm finna have my baby now at 38 weeks. So I was like real nervous. I was like, no, I want to wait my whole 40 weeks full term. Well, I was full term at 38 weeks. I just wanted to wait until my due date to have my baby. Since she wasn't coming down by herself, they had to induce me. I just had high blood pressure. So they didn't want to take no risk or nothing. And they didn't want her to be like a high risk baby. So they sent me to the hospital. And it's like confusion when I get there. They saying they didn't know I was coming. It's not a reason to induce me yet because my blood pressure wasn't really that high. So they going back and forth with my OBGYN on the phone, and they finally come to agreement that I'm getting induced. They finna induce me, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. So they induced me. It's like not all the way at nighttime, but it's like close to night. And they were saying how I'm not having my baby till like the next night, like 24 hours. So So I'm in the bed and I start feeling like contractions even more than I was. Because at first when I was having contractions, I really couldn't feel it. I couldn't even tell there was contractions until they put me up to the machine and it was like the paper come out every time you have a contraction. So that was getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stuff. So it's like, it's not, the day not even over with. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm feeling like real bad now. So the contractions getting really bad. I didn't want them to see how much I dilated because I hate that. I don't like the process of that. So she ended up seeing how much I dilated. So she's like, I was like 6 or 7 centimeters. So I was she was coming right then. I was getting ready to give birth right then. After that, the contractions started getting even more stronger. So at this point, I'm like asking for my what's it called? Epidural. I'm asking for my epidural because like she coming right now and these contractions getting like very painful. And they were saying how they couldn't give it to me because they didn't have it on hand or something. They was waiting for it. So it's like moving like real quick. And I'm having like the bad contractions. So I'm like, I gotta pee. My mom, she was coming. She was walking up to me. She finna unhook me so I can go pee. So out of nowhere, my water burst open. I'm like, my water, I'm yelling. I'm like, my water broke. My water's broke. So my mom, she pushed the button. They are running there like confused, like my water was supposed to break. It was supposed to be the next day. I was supposed to be having Candace. That's my baby name. So after my water broke, they had checked to see how much I was dilated. She was like, it was like a lot of doctors in there. So one of the doctors asked the ones that was checking me, she was like, how much is she now? She was like 10 centimeters. So I was fully dilated. I was fully dilated now. And now I'm finna really give birth. I'm finna start pushing. And I ain't had my epidural or nothing. So at this point, they was like, they can't give it to me. Now I'm too far along. I'm finna give birth. Now it's no sense of be going through all that. Like it's not like they couldn't give it to me anyway. It's like after a certain point you can't get it. So I don't know I forgot how many times I pushed, but it went that many times and it didn't take that long to get her out. So yeah, I was pushing. I had got her out. So she was born at 5:19 a.m. weighing 6 pounds and 10 ounces. We did scan to scan, stuff like that. And she was born on January 23rd, 2018, 5:19 in the morning, even though they said I was supposed to be having her later that day. I ended up having my baby at 38 weeks, only a few weeks after my family, my mom and dad even found out I was pregnant. But we like I had like a lot of stuff in them few weeks. But so yeah, that's my story, my teen pregnancy story, and how I had hid my pregnancy for 8 months. I'm gonna do a story time on how I told them who my daughter's real father was, because that's a whole different story. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below if you like this, and comment down below more video ideas, and like this video if you liked the story. If you watched my whole video, thank you, and just stay tuned for more content.
Just doing it now. Take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. That's what she's saying. No. That's all she ever said. No. Yeah, just kidding you. Just trying. You didn't do anything with the tag, did you?
Tag?
Yeah. Make sure just don't take it off. Okay then. Okay, take the tag off, so she'll take it back.
Yes, ma'am. That's Susie, baby girl.
You too, Miriam. You did great. Here you look. Ooh, she is really strong, though. Yeah, tell me, Mom.
Trying
Rose gold seat on a fucking helicopter, double C, no Chanel, cause she's bad, bad, bad. Ride it, Kawasaki, like a cup, you in the Rari, let you ride it, now you're rat, and you're bad, bad, bad.